Shalom, shalom. First off, give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakar Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, the women, the children, the confusion, the face will follow. So, this lesson, uh, you know, social credit score and ESG, it was inspired by the beautiful live show that the brother Ariella and the brother Rakalia Kwam from the UK did. I believe it was yesterday. Um, just wanted to land back off a couple points that they did. It was a beautiful lesson, and it inspired me to want to do a little bit more research. But they brought out a point about everything going on with the ESG, and I'm going to get into exactly what that means here in a second. But they brought it out that it had been going on in China, so that is where I'm going to start this lesson. But before I do that, I want to get a scripture, and Lord's will, this is going to be an edifying video. All right, this is 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 7. It says, "But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer." Right, so we are coming to the end of this thing. This man is he's putting all the pieces together to that's going to lead us to the MOTB, which we're going to get that, but we have to therefore watch and be sober. Okay, it's not talking about drinking or alcohol. It's talking about being sober in your mind, being open. All right, being able to let's just get this word on. Hold on, dragging me. There we go. All right, Strong G 4993. So Frono, it says to be sound of mind, to be in one's right mind, to exercise self-control, to put on a moderate estimate of oneself, to think of oneself, to curb one's passions, right? So you got to be in your right mind. Okay, you got to really understand what's going on and play the game how it's supposed to go. All right, now that's kind of a broad term, but there are steps that we are supposed to take. We're supposed to read, watch, and pray, and learning about these things, understanding these things, and how it's really going to affect our life is going to help you when they manifest in front of us, as the scriptures say, and we'll understand the wiles of the devil and how to avoid them. All right, so with that being said, let's go in to that. First, we're going to go into the social credit score. Okay, so if you don't know what the social credit score is, it says the social credit score is an extensive. It's an extension of the risk assessment credit rating system that were introduced in China in the 1980s. All right, so this has been around going on 40 years. Okay, it says proponents argue that it will help eliminate problems such as food safety issues, intellectual property theft, violation of labor law, financial infidelity, and counterfeit goods. So they're basically saying we're going to watch you. Well, I'm going to pull out a video that's going to tell you exactly what it's doing, but their reasoning for it is it's for the betterment of you. It's for your purpose, okay? So we're gonna watch this video and let's see if I can move this out the way. And it's gonna pretty much speak for itself.
Constantly monitored by facial recognition cameras that are able to instantly put a face to a name. Now the Chinese are also ranked, given a mark.
So did you hear what they said? They said they put a face to a name. If you back it up, everyone had like a number Everyone had a number attached to them. All right. So when they go to introduce this ESG system and this social credit score system, and eventually when they do the MOTB, everyone's going to have a number assigned to them so that they can quantify all your activity. Okay, I just wanted to point that out.
The name. Now the Chinese are also ranked, given a mark out of a possible 950 points. A score in the 700s is considered good. Around the 500 mark is not. For now, the number is a sort of bank credit rating, keeping track of everyone's spending habits.
I think being ranked is a good thing. A society has to have rules. It forces us to be well behaved.
It may seem scary.
It forces us to be well behaved. Okay, it's you can't just free range and do what you want to do. All right, you have to stay within their structure. Okay, and that's what it says. I'll get this scripture. I'm not going to read it all, but it's very relevant right now. It says Revelation 13-15. It says, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed." So if you're not going along with this system, okay, as we go along, it's gonna come out that you're gonna be ostracized from society. Okay, and according to this, you will lose your life. Okay, if you don't want to go along with this man's system, he has no need for you, so he's gonna get rid of you. All right, that's why it's important to have this information right now, so that you know when it comes on, and really, it's for your faith, for your faith and your works. All right, because if you're a true man of the Lord, woman of the Lord, okay, if you're really riding for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, then you're gonna understand. All right, when this time comes to deny all of this, this is really life and death right here. Okay, so let's go back to the video.
But it's just like that here. We're used to it. And anyway, we don't have a choice. But in an effort to keep all of its subjects in line, Beijing is taking the system a step further in 2020. It's aggregating data gathered by banks, private companies, and the state to rate if someone's a good or bad citizen.
By using the most data possible, the so-called big data, the system will play an important role in rebuilding a moral society.
The state will go over every detail of a person's life with a fine-tooth comb. Their financial situation, spending habits, career, even behavior on social media.
Right. So, if we can back it up just a. All right. So, what you spend, what you're buying, your social media habits, everything. Who you're coming in contact with. All this can affect your credit, your social score. Okay. So if you're a gang member, all right, we'll go all the way to the left. If you're a gang member, all right, and you're a known gang member, you're let me back it all the way up, and then we'll go that far. Okay, so right now, and I've had a few situations that I'm going to give examples for, and I know a lot of people have these examples as well. All right, um, I was at a bar and I ordered a drink. Okay, it was Glenlivet. And now on my social media, I'm getting advertisements for Glenlivet. Glenlivet. All right. I was talking with a brother about a wolf coat. And now I got advertisements for a wolf coat. Okay. These things are popping up. Why? Because they have surveillance on us right now. They're listening right now. And they're going to use these devices in order to affect your social credit score. So now bringing it forward to going all the way to the left. Now, say you're a gang member and you're hanging out with known gang members, the social credit score or the ESG score is going to know that. It's going to know who you're surrounding yourself with, and it's going to lower your score. Okay, as well as go all the way to the right. You're in the truth. All right, which in the eyes of the Lord is a very good thing. but in the eyes of the people who are um, rolling this out, so to speak, okay, the illuminated ones, that's not a good thing. Why? Because you're exposing them. All right, you're shedding light in the world. All right, you're bringing out all these different facts. All right, um, you're not conducive to their society. They understand that you're not gonna acquiesce uh, to their social norms. So it's gonna lower your score. All right, and what happens when you get a lower score? I'm gonna let the video show that, and then we'll go into it a little bit further. Just bear with me, yo. This may be a lengthy video. I just want it to be done decently and in order.
Career, even behavior on social media, criticizing the government online, or displaying out.
So if you're in the truth, what do? We're going to tell you that Babylon is going to be destroyed, that Babylon is America, and that it will be destroyed in the Third World War, which is a nuclear war. And my score just went down for making that statement. Okay?
With signs of wealth is a no-no. On the other hand, praising the party or giving blood increases your social credit.
Right, so things that they deem socially positive will raise your credit score, like giving praise or supporting the alphabet community, the LGBTQABDC community. All right, that's going to up your score. Black Lives Matter, that's going to up your score. All right, even and this is just not individuals, but this is with business as well. So, say you have a company like Nike, and they support Colin Kaepernick. But okay, let's just say Nike. Okay, Nike as an example, and they do something that is not supported by those social norms, so that company gets a lower score. Now you like Nike, so you go buy Nike. Now, in turn from them getting that lower score, your score is now lowered by association. This is the world that we're coming into. And like I said, the lower your score is, the less access you're going to have to society. All right.
Xia Wenwang is a model citizen. She lives in Nanjing, a testing ground for social ranking. Married with a child, she has a job in a retirement home, no debts, and she wouldn't.
So they're going to show you what they want you to be. All right. This is a good little sheep. Okay. One of the sheeple that's just going to play along with society. All right. That whatever you tell them to do, they're in survival mode and they're just gonna do it. All right, they're not gonna buck up against it or say anything against it, like the real woke people will. Okay, the men in the Lord. Okay, the ones who are coming back to Israel and following the true Heavenly Father and His Son Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai.
Dream of jaywalking.
As a good citizen, I respect the rules of the road. If I didn't, I'd lose points on my social credit.
In theory, everything can taken into account in the social score, even the most innocuous errands like supermarket shopping. When Xia Wenwang makes an electronic payment, her purchases tell the state a lot about her. Buying cigarettes would count against her. On the other hand, nappies show she's an attentive mother. Beer could indicate alcoholism. She'd be better off buying water.
Right. So if you had a hard day at work and you go get a bottle of liquor, you're 21. You can do that. You're an American citizen, so to speak. You have the right to go to a bar or go to a store and get a drink. But that's going to lower your score. All right. If it's the Sabbath, or you're not even if it's the Sabbath, that was a bad example. Say you're getting together at camp with the Akim and you go buy a bottle of Yayan. All right. That bottle of Yayan just lowers your score. Amongst you being around a bunch of individuals who are against the government. Do you see where I'm going with this? How all of this can affect your everyday life. And these are the times that we're coming to. These are the times that we have to mentally be prepared for, and really spiritually be prepared for, and pray for strength. Because this is a lot easier said than done. When you're not able to get a new apartment, when you're not able to rent a new house or buy a house or buy a car, or even get the lights turned on, that's when it's really going to be real. Okay? So we have to understand these things and be spiritually ready for them, and have that faith that the Most High is going to take care of His own.
In this pilot city of 8 million people, there are only 18,000 model citizens. For Xiaowen Wang, there are perks to be had, such as paying half price for the bus.
And they might throw you a bone here and there. You know, they gave her a little half off, and she's going to give her a little other discounts that she gets. But at what price? Because they don't just want your obedience, they want your soul. All right? They want you to be theirs.
I get discounts from
I'm sorry,
public
I
transport.
keep going into this. I got to get this precept. This is Psalm 64:2. It says, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity." Right. So this talking about the Illuminati, the so-called elites of this world. It says to hide me from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. All right. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Baba Kusha, Baba Kusha. Okay, protect me from these beasts. It says, who wet their tongues like a sword and bend their bows and shoot arrows, even bitter words. Right. So everything that they're doing is pointed at you for your destruction. Okay. Let's keep it going.
Even at museums. And the library is free for me, thanks to my score.
A good score brings benefits, but people with low scores lose rights. The cinema names and shames people considered untrustworthy, plastering their details, even their addresses, across big screens.
It's a matter of principle. Those people have to be condemned.
Those people are.
Look, those people have to be condemned. You don't even know what they did to lose their credit score. They could have had a party and went and bought a whole bunch of liquor, but now they're considered an alcoholic, so their credit score went all the way down. And now they got their face on the board like they're a criminal. But these people have to be condemned.
Honest, so they have to pay the price.
It's only right to pay your debts. You have to blacklist those that don't.
The Supreme Court has created a blacklist for so-called bad citizens, those whose ratings have dropped to zero. On it are companies, but also 23 million people today.
Companies and people. Why? Because what is a company or what is a person? A company or a person is, number one, a name. We have a first name and a last name. A business has a name. A number, we have a social security number. A business has an EIN number, and an address. We all have an address where you stay, and a company has an address where you stay. All right, it's the same. We're looked at as the same. That's why you pay taxes and a company pays taxes. All right, it's not very hard to figure out.
Among them is this journalist Liu Hu. He got a little too close to uncovering corruption among high-profile party members. After being sued for defamation by the subject of a story he'd written, he was blacklisted. The only real
So he was doing his job. He was a journalist that was digging into corruption within the government, and he got too close, and they blacklisted him. Now look and see what he can and can't do.
realized when he tried to buy a train ticket and was told he was banned from traveling.
That tells me I'm still on the blacklist.
Punished,
because he's been branded untrustworthy by the state.
Once you're blacklisted, you can no longer get a bank loan, start a business, buy an apartment, or even send your children to a private school.
So once you are put on that blacklist, it's over for you. Okay? And this is just in China. All right? Who knows how strict it's going to be when it's fully implemented here in America. All right? So this is pretty much all I wanted with this video. Let's we have a pretty good understanding on the social credit score, which is in China. The ESG is what's going to be rolled out over the world and here in America as well. So, let me see which one of these articles do I want first. Let's explain the ESG credit score. Okay, so we're going to move this back over here. All right, it says, what is your ESG credit score? All right, and this is from March 22nd of last year. All right, from ricochet.com. Major banks are rolling out a new platform on their lending practices. Major banks are rolling out a new platform, and their lending practices will be driven by your ESG score. ESG stands for your environmental, social, and governance. What you ask does that mean? What you buy and sell, what charities you support, and your environmental impact are being tracked and translated into a score. Now, what stuck out to you right there? It says what you buy and what you sell. Going back to this Revelation 13, okay? In verse 16, it says, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Okay? That's why buying or selling is so crucial, because you can't do anything. Everything is revolved around money. Everything is revolved around money. In one way or another, it all goes back to money. If you don't have any money, then you can't do anything in this society. All right? That's why women date up, because they don't want somebody that has the same thing as them. They want someone with more than them, so that they don't have to, so they have that sense of security. All right? That money is a sense of security. And if they can control what you do or how you obtain money, or, you know, can put influence on your money, then they can control you. All right. So it says what you buy and sell and what charities you support, your environmental impact are being tracked and translated into a score. So, and like I said, going back to the social credit score, all right, the social credit system is an extension of the risk assessment credit rating system that were introduced in China in the 1980s. The proponents argue that it will help eliminate problems such as food safety issues, intellectual property theft, violation of labor laws, financial infidelity, and counterfeit goods. All what? For your betterment, right? It's seeming like it's doing everything for your betterment. So let's get this First Thessalonians chapter 5, starting at verse 3. It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So they're going to keep pushing this peace and safety, peace and safety, peace and safety. But really, they're putting the wool over your eyes and leading you to the slaughter. So you have to watch when this devil is talking about it's for your betterment. The Maxine is for your betterment. This is for your betterment. That's for your betterment. When he then raped and robbed and murdered the whole earth. Understanding who you're dealing with. Okay? So going into it, it says, I don't know who the scorekeepers are, but Glenn Beck's guest had a friend who checked his marriage account, and he was quickly educated. He had a low score of 4.7 out of a possible 10, and didn't understand how it arrived to that number. All right. And the way that they explained it on that Glenn Beck interview, he said that's like the equivalent of believing that you had a 700 credit score, but when you looked and checked your credit score, it was like a 300. You're not getting a loan. All right. You better get out the people's face trying to get a car with a 300 credit score, trying to get a house, or trying to get a loan with a 300 credit score. That's the equivalent. That's how it's going to be. Okay. And I remember I watched it, a while back, and Apostle Tahar also brought it out, the Black Mirror episode where the lady had her credit score. She was the Chinese lady, she was the Chinese lady who did everything right to keep her credit score high, and she had one bad day and it snowballed, and she was pretty much ostracized from society. So moving on, it says, no, this isn't China. This is now being implemented here in the U.S. and will affect whether you qualify for a car loan or a home loan or a business loan, or if you're a good credit risk. If you're applying for other things like a job, you can't even get a job if you got a low ESG score. You might get fired from your job if your score dips too low. Who knows where it begins and where it ends? It says, did you buy a gun, for example, or give a particular political party, or give to a particular political party candidate? You could have voted for the other guy. You voted for the other guy, and now this guy's in office, and he says, anybody who voted against me, all right, lower all their credit score. And then what? Now, their credit score may be so low that they take away their right to vote. Who knows? Do you see how this could snowball? All right, it says, or do you purchase meat? Right, because it's going back to uh, your environmental score, your carbon emissions. All right, uh, how far do you travel to go to work? All right, how much pollution are you putting in the air? All right, if you order something from you live in LA and you order something from New York, how much carbon is it going to take for that package to get there? It has to go home on a plane, and that plane has to drop it off into a car, into a truck, and all that. How much carbon does that put out? That's going to lower your credit score. Do you see how little minute things? I already talked about the individuals that you hang around. It mentions social media. Any of your friends on social media, all right, that can lower your score. What kind of car do you drive? All right, do you have a truck? Do you have a smart vehicle? Do you have a what do they call it? One of those ones, an electric car that you can plug up? How often do you drive it? It says, no kidding. This will have an impact on your freedom in the new world that is unfolding. All right, it says a story in Forbes from 2019 explains it. It says money lenders are grading you by this new system because they are now being graded. They are now being graded by this new system, right? So companies are being graded on this system, so they have to grade you on the same system. Which is why when I said I gave that Nike example, say Nike does something that lowers their credit score, and now you buy Nike, now your credit score will be lowered by association. Every company will be graded on their hiring practices and how many minorities and even diverse genders are hired. So it says diverse genders, so you got to have male, female, and whatever else is out there. Because I couldn't tell you, but all those other types of individuals. Okay, it says what their social and environmental footprint is, and they must prove it. All right, it says as their as their social score will impact their ability to do business in the new world system. Ideology is also being incorporated into education, from the World Economic Forum's the Great Reset being implemented into every sector and corner and cell of our lives. These are the new rules, right? So, this is a really good article. I'm gonna read a little bit more on it. I really want to read the whole thing, but I'm gonna put it in the description. Um, Let me see. It says they are handling these new systems. They're handing these new systems down to every government on Earth. It sounds nuts because it is. It says the Green New Deals on steroids. No one elected these people or voted on these new systems that will have direct impact on all of us, but it's been in the pipeline for years. And we have the systems in place to support it, like 5G, the social platforms, and big tech. Right. So everything is rolled out. I gave the examples earlier of me being at the bar and ordering a drink, and now the drink pops up on my social media. They're hearing it. They're able to hear everything, to record everything. All right, they have 5G to support it. So 5G is basically like internet like that. Okay, I type in to go to a website and it pops up. All right, I say, "Hey, how you doing?" And you just heard me say, "Hey, how you doing?" on this recording. All right, it's real time. Okay, um, social platforms and big tech, the Internet of Things, everything is interconnected. Okay, you have you can pull up on your phone an app that controls the the heat in your house or the temperature in your refrigerator. You can turn the lights on, turn the lights off. The security system, all of that is interconnected, and everything is interconnected within the what's the word I'm looking for? Um, Blockchain. Everything is interconnected within the blockchain is a network of computers interconnected, all right, to process all these transactions. Okay. All right. I am going to read a little bit in this last one. Then we're going to move. We're going to move on. It says, "What can we do to ensure our rights in a free society under these new rules? And have you seen things change in your life?" Okay. And it says more rules are coming. It says, my car insurance company offered significant savings if I downloaded an app that will track my driving habits, not just my driving record. All right. It says, but when I drove at night or just during the day, and what hours, how far, how fast, how often I brake, it was very invasive. Right. They want all the information. All that is going to, everything from the littlest minute detail is going to go in to your score. All right, it says it was very invasive. This is the definition of smart cars, smart cities, the wave of the future that sounds so utopian and modern and convenient. This isn't the stuff of science fiction or conspiracy talk, right? It got a little sarcastic at the end. But these are really the things that are going to impact you. All right, I have a little list over here. It says purchase goods and services, purchase electricity, steam, heating and cooling for your own use. These are the things that are going to affect your score. All right. If you have a business, company vehicles, do your employees have to drive to and from work? Can they work at home? What are you investing your money in? All right. Are you investing in green technology, in veganism? Are you supporting LGBTQ ABDC communities? Are you with Black Lives Matter? Are you a white supremacist? Are you a Hebrew Israelite? All right. Are you a born again Christian? your beliefs, all of that. Are you a member of the Crips? All right. Did you go to college? Who do you, or what job do you work? Are you a gun owner? Are you a dog owner? What kind of dog do you own? Do you see how far it can go? Okay, so we're gonna get this last article, and we're gonna end it on this. Bear with me. All right, here we go. And this is from 8/3 of last year. All right, and it's from thehill.com. They normally have a lot of good things. It says, coming soon, America's own social credit system. The new domestic war on terror, kicked off by the riot on January 6th, has prompted several web giants to unveil predecessors to what effectively could become a. Oh, jumped all the way down there. It says uh, what effectively could become a soft social credit system by the end of this decade, relying on an indirect hand from DC. Our social betters in corporate America will attempt to force the most profound changes our society has seen during the internet era. And that's how important this is. It says the most profound changes our society has seen. Okay, so it mentions the social credit system is a common. All right, we already pretty much know that. Um, just jump down. Y'all get this next paragraph. It says, last week PayPal announced a partnership with the left-wing Southern Poverty Law Center to investigate the role of white supremacists and propagators of anti-government rhetoric, uh, subjective labels that potentially could impact a large number of people, or it's like a large number of groups or people using their service. PayPal says the collected information will be shared with other financial firms and politicians, right? Because going back to what? Going back to the money. There has to be a flow of money, all right? And that's what PayPal is. PayPal is a payment processor. So if I send someone money via PayPal, all right, that record is tracked. So you could have white supremacists, you paying whatever they pay on that, or you can have a brother in the truth using PayPal to send tights. Okay, all that is tracked. All right, so if they understand, okay, well, we're looking for um, Jeremy Robinson. Okay, so they go to his PayPal and they check out that Jeremy Robinson has been receiving $100 every 2 weeks from 5 separate people as tights. Now they got those other 5 people. Do you see where we're going with this? Okay, and it's not just with our community, but I, just wanted to speak on that because they're also going after white supremacists. Anybody who's not fitting the norm of your everyday sheeple. All right, it says Facebook is taking similar measures, recently uh, introducing messages that ask users to snitch on their potentially extremist friends, which, considering uh, the platform's bias seems mainly to target the political right, but it's really everybody because you see a lot of Hebrew Israelite content on social media as well. You see everything on social media, and they want you to snitch. Everything is already interconnected. Going back to that first example that I made, I was at the bar, I ordered a drink, and now I see that same drink on Facebook. giving me an ad after ad after ad. Everything's already connected. The systems are already in place to put this into use. They just gotta. And one day we will wake up, and guess what? Your ESG score is going to affect every aspect of your life. Uh, Let me jump down because, like I said, all this is good, but I'm wanting to get to a specific point. All right, it says the potential scope of the soft social credit system under construction is enormous. The same companies that can track your activities and give you corporate rewards for complement or compliant behavior could utilize their powers to block transactions, add surcharges, or restrict your use of products. At what point does free speech, be it against biological males in playing and girl sports, or questioning medication side effects, or advocating for gun rights, make someone a target in this new system? And we've seen back in the video, if you get that credit score taken, you may not be able to travel. You may not be able to get on a plane or a train, the Greyhound bus. You may not be able to ride the city bus. If martial law set up, you may not be able to get past a checkpoint. Who knows how far it's going to go? All right, this man is devious. All right, it says the scriptures say that he doesn't go to sleep unless he can think of something to trip us up. Very roughly paraphrasing. It says, when does your debit card get canceled over old tweets, or your home loan denied for homeschooling your kids, or your eBay account invalidated because a friend flagged you for posting the Gadsden flag? That's how serious it can be. That's how, man. this is it's crazy. It seems crazy, but this is the reality that we're all going to soon face. It says federal fingerprints are indirectly on recent actions, yet the creation of the digital dollar will put an exclamation point on a new social credit score, right? And that's a separate lesson, but that's going into the 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 currencies. Give me 1 second here. Let me, because it's escaping me. Uh, yeah, the CBDC. There it is. The CBDC, the central bank. I'm sorry. Let me see. Central bank digital currency. That's what it's speaking of. All right, it says federal fingerprints are directly on recent actions, yet the creation of a digital dollar will put an exclamation point on a new social credit score. Working in conjunction with major tech companies, citizens not convicted of a crime will lose their ability to transact any business. In time, decentralized forms of money, such as cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, may be the main means to dissidents for dissidents to operate. But like I said, it's going to go down to these CBDCs, these central bank digital currencies. Okay, I'm kind of losing my. It says as long as the federal government does not move in to squash them, right? That's what's going to happen. It says if the Fed and the members of Congress are skeptical of crypto now, its use of it says its use by political undesirables could lead to a furtive effort to severely restrict or ban these currencies. All right. It all goes back to money. It all goes back to power and control. All right. This man does not want to just control you. He wants to own your soul. That's why he's going to put that charagma in your right hand or in your forehead. All right. It's not just to look pretty. Okay. It's to control you. All right. For him to own your soul. That's what he has. He has you. If you acquiesce to the system, then you deserve everything that's going to come with it. All right. And all the plagues that are written within the scriptures, you're going to eat of those. All right. But if you stay true to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, all right, and hold the faith, you will be protected. All right. The elect will not be, what the Lord said, none shall fall from my hands. The hedge of protection will be around us. The standard will be lifted up. All right, and if you watch this whole video, the water, I hope you were edified. And I really want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakar Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, the women, the children, the confusion of faith who follow. Shalom.